Hey everybody, Carm, Capriotto. How are you all out there in the Northwest? My God, I'm on the East Coast. It's always a pleasure to have this long distance relationship with the ASA Northwest team. We were here a few weeks ago, ladies. I don't know if you recall. We had another panel where we brought a great discussion, and back then we were in the heat of COVID, the pandemic that we ever had before, and we may see some light at the end of the tunnel right now. And we said, hey, let's get together, do another Facebook Live, and do something really neat and different. We'll bring in just a bunch of lady shop owners. And when I was asked about that, I always jump on those. To be the only guy in this group is just super exciting for me. We have Ashley McCabe from McCabe's Automotive Specialist, University Place in Washington. Hi, Ashley.
Hi.
Kandie Jennings-Molloy, Tom's Automotive, Seattle, Washington.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Kandie. And Sunshine Pearson. How you doing? Denny's Auto Service, Shelton,
Hello.
Washington. And Vicky's not here either, is she?
No.
She isn't. Oh, Vicky's not here either. Well, look at we're going to hang in there. It's possible we may have some tech difficulties getting in. But we actually have two more joining us. Ladies, so look, it's amazing how when you have a coach and you've built a great culture in your business, the sustaining through any kind of thing. Who would have ever thought the pandemic would be this big, this all-encompassing on every business, the economy, people's lives? But you could probably credit the culture that you've had in your businesses to how you guys are sustaining and getting by. Who'd love to start to talk about shop culture?
I would love to start. Culture has been a huge impact on my business, that's for sure. I took over for my dad last year, and we had to do a really big culture shift. I'm a much younger generation. I do things a lot differently. I'm not going to lie. When I first started, my business coach said, culture is key. You need to build a culture where your employees trust you, you trust your employees, they rely on you, you rely on them. At the end of the day, that's all you have. I thought it was crap. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was crap, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna follow the directions, but I don't believe. And I have to say that the last year of putting in the work, I show up, authentically. I show up with transparency. I let my employees get to be themselves. We walk around, and instead of saying, we don't do this because I said so, or we do this because I said so, we do this because we believe that's the way. That's the way we do it here at McCabe's. That's the way we do it here at Tom's. We don't do it because Kandie said so or Ashley said so. We do it because that's the way we believe. And that has made such a huge difference. I have an incredible team. It started with the interviews. If I would say culture start from the beginning. When I interviewed everybody on my team, I wanted to know their why, what fueled them. Get your employees to buy in on what they believe, what you believe, because if you're on the same page, all you can go is forward.
This is so refreshing. Ashley, would you mind? I'm going to ask you a personal question. How old are you?
I'm 27.
You're 27.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when she was little.
I know.
I am blown away. This is so exciting. And something happened recently on one of my shows where a coach got up and said, aha, proof of concept, meaning the coach has been working so hard with many of their shop, their clients. Mm-hmm. And the client says, oh, you were right.
Yeah. I had that same moment that you were right. I'm so glad. Thank you for pushing me. Thanks for doing it. But I have such a great team, and it's because we all believe in each other and each other's whys. I didn't just hire a body. I waited until it was the right body, and having the right people in the right places is incredible. I wouldn't have believed it if I wouldn't be here. And, my team looked at me and they said, if you're here, we're here. We're a team. We do this together.
So culture it's so important to have it, but did you notice it coming back to you from your team?
Oh, for sure. We played a lot of games. We're all checking on each other. The techs are checking on each other. We're checking on the techs. It's really awesome. I get a lot of feedback from them. My service manager is phenomenal. She was my first hire, and she believes in my why, sometimes more than I do. I feel like she has to remind me, but it's so great. I get it from them, and it's a shared experience. And when somebody's having a tough day, we pick each other up. Hey, are you okay? What can we do for you? How can we make today better?
Yeah, you just got a high five from Lisa Bass. Go, Ashley. So
Yay.
mature for your age. Oh my
Thank
God.
you.
That's just so true. That really is. So did you lose any people over the transition?
I did lose a couple, not due to lack of skill, just it's hard to take. I mean, I'm 27, right? So I was 25 at the time. I'm different, and I have a different way of thinking, and we had to be on the same page. And the ones that we parted ways, not on any bad terms, just I want to move forward, and not everybody is forward thinking.
We have that here at our shop too, because I am in a different area. I'm older than Ashley is, and my crew is very young. Us that are older are outnumbered. And so I've had to really change how I deal with them versus how we were when we were younger in the shop environment. So it's really important that you recognize that they don't respond the same way. You can't use Siegel management and think it's going to work. You have to try other stuff, and each of them is an individual for sure. They have different ways that they respond to the things that you need to address. It's really important to recognize that. Pretty proud of you, Ashley. I think it's pretty cool.
Thank
to watch
you.
grow up and take over.
It's been great. It's really great. This has been a really learning experience for me, for sure. COVID started, and my parents weren't here in the States. They were in Arizona. So I did a lot of this navigating myself. I think the greatest lesson that I learned is be authentically me. And it's okay that I'm the leader and I don't have all the answers, but to be okay with that. You know what? That's a great question. I don't know, but I'm going to find out, because that's my job as your leader, that if I don't know, I find out.
By the way, the great thing about Facebook and the platform that we are using for these ASA Northwest get-togethers is that we can post up some Q&A, and we do encourage the great chatter that's going on with Facebook. Please, while you're out there too, share this with your friends, your peers, and your networking group up in the great Northwest, and we'll add additional people. And don't forget, you can always watch this at a later time, and we can post and share this. Brian Kelly, who was on with us the last time, what was the biggest obstacle in objectively creating a culture change?
Do you want to go first, Kandie? Because we're a little different, but I think we might have had the similar.
I think for me, I just had to be, I was very fortunate because I have a son that's 22 years old. And so I bought the shop 10 years ago from Tom, and our crew was much older. And as I started to hire these younger people on, it was easier for me to identify with them because I had a young son at home. So it's interesting. All of a sudden I've become my mom, and now I'm mom to all of these younger people, which is great. But I think the biggest thing for me is to make sure that they're having fun. If you're not having fun at work, you spend so much time there. We spend more time at work than we do at home usually.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to make it enjoyable for them and do fun things. And they probably think I'm crazy. I sing to them, and we do shop lunches. I make breakfast once in a while. And I think as somebody my age, those things weren't as important as it is for somebody that's a little younger than me, because it makes them feel part of something greater than just, oh, I'm going to my job. It's my 9 to 5. Makes them really want to ride for the brand and care about what you're doing.
I want to get Sunshine in here a little bit. I for sure you're a key component to our discussion here. Let's bring you in on this.
Well, I purchased the shop that I'd worked for 20 years first, and 2 of the employees came with me, as I took over. One left, but came back after a couple years, and had regretted his decision. And again, it all had to do with shop culture and just, having to see what was out there and realize he was back home now. And I've had a couple new hires since then, but I mean, the growth has been good. I really feel like, I try to make decisions as a team, when we're purchasing tools and equipment, and obviously fun's a thing too. Like, we try to do some fun activities and bring all the families. So they're bringing their kids, and, I want to know them all individually, not just at work too. So, getting to know their wives has been important, I think, for culture, so that they feel comfortable where their husband's at every day too. But yeah, no, overall, it's, bringing that team mentality has been vital.
I love the whole fun thing, and frankly, it is a really key component to culture. I'm a firm believer in culture, and yes, fun is one hell of a component. You were talking about singing to someone, if I'm right, Kandie?
Yeah,
So,
I sing happy birthday to everybody on their birthday, whether they want to
cool.
hear it or not.
Yeah.
I love that. That's awesome.
During
Yeah.
this whole issue with the COVID stuff, it's been really important to keep everybody up. So we made a playlist and we played some music that was everybody chose a song that made them feel happy, and we cranked it really loud in the shop. We just have tried to do some different things to make it fun. You just have to. I'm probably not the norm. I don't think most people go out in the shop and sing to their employees, but it pays to be weird sometimes. Keep them smiling and on their toes.
So the message is, building a great culture where people want to come and work, and you all mentioned why. Let's dig into this fun thing a little bit. Ashley, any fun things going on at your place that's part of your culture?
Yeah, so we do a lot of fun. We did do a paper airplane contest. That I was inspired by that. I saw a collision shop do that, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. I love that. So we did that, and then we had a little prize. We do play a lot of music here. We laugh a lot. We do a lot of laughing and joking around, and I have some new fun things I want to try. I do want to try like a 3-legged race, or like a trash bag race, where everybody gets in a trash bag and they have to hop. I want to try that. So we do some fun things here as well.
How about the whole fun side and the stress that we all have under, the pandemic, the rules in the Northwest? Is it being relaxed a bit now? And if not, what are you doing to protect your people from that? And I think culture goes a long way in making sure that that we're doing the right things for our people.
We don't all want to speak at once.
Right?
Let's just welcome Janel Black. Hi, Janel.
Hi, Janelle.
Hi.
Glad
Sorry
to have
about that.
you.
Had some technical difficulties.
Glad to have you from Unlimited. Janelle's from Unlimited Service in Bellingham, Washington.
Yep.
Yeah, join it. Glad. Thanks. You finally got in.
Now I forgot what we were asking.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, based on the pressure of being safe at work, and the whole fun factor, have you toned it down? Have you obviously worrying about the safety of your people. So how's that working?
I think I turned the fun factor up because everybody was down and they need an up. So if I can keep them up here, then hopefully that will make them feel better when they go home at night. And you can tell when somebody's having a rough day. So you just kind of try to talk it through and hopefully find some way to make them feel better. It's the little things I think that we can do to put a smile on their face to make it a little easier when they go home at night and they turn on the news and it's all doom and gloom.
Yeah. I'm going to be excited to come to work. Yeah, we turned the fun up too. I've just got a great crew. Everybody's got a funny sense of humor. I'm working on my dad jokes. I try them out on my team. They love it, I think. My dad always had fun one-liners, so I'm trying to keep that rolling through the generation. He always had, 1,000 comedians out of work, and I'm trying to be one. We try to use, just to make everybody laugh. I mean, that might be the only time they laugh all day, and they could have a stressful home life. And I want them to be like, oh, I can't wait to come to work. Like, I laugh there. I like it there. They do a better job. I believe their quality of work is better when they're happy. If they're stressed to come here, stressed to go home, they don't want to work. They're not going to give it their 100%, which is what I want from them,
I would agree. We try, we crack jokes. We get along. Everybody's in and out of the shop all the time. Our front office staff, Michelle and I, don't stay in the front office. We try and keep checking in with everybody throughout the day. What do you need? How are things going? And we crack jokes and throw things at each other, and just try and keep the environment pretty friendly and make it so it's not a drag. It's not something that kind of drags you down through the workday. You get your stuff done, you behave professionally, but at the same time, something probably is going to get thrown at you at some point, just as kind of a entertainment factor.
Too funny. I love it.
You can't take yourself too seriously right now.
No.
You just can't. So, I mean, if you keep thinking about everything else that you're focused on and everything else, you have to give yourself a break and you have to give your staff a break.
We had a little guy that we hid all over the place in the shop, and then he would show up in random places, and then whoever found him had to move him someplace else. That was super fun.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah, it was great. And then the new thing is when we go out and buy lunch somewhere, now I'm having the guys take selfies with the picture of the restaurant in the back. And then I'm tagging the restaurant and saying, having lunch today at, we've gone to West 5 and some other restaurants here in West Seattle. But it's kind of fun. And then I get to pull in, other people in the community that are really kind of struggling right now. So
yes,
it's cool. The guys take some fun photos.
I love it. That's awesome. Supporting the community. That's great. We do lunch on Fridays. But we don't do it every day. But I like the picture idea. We might have to do that. We do barbecue a lot here, so we do some in-house stuff. It's easier to feed 9 people when you make it yourself. But yeah, I like that idea. That's great, Kandie. We might have to do that too.
Ladies, any one of your team members say, "Hey, listen, I've got stuff going on at home. I don't want to risk being here and maybe possibly walking away with COVID." Has anything like that ever happened to you?
I had a technician that took the first, all of April off. He has aged parents that they share a living space. And so he did not feel safe, and him coming back, his first week back was last week. And yeah, he had some, it's tough for him to, he has the fear of contracting it. But we just talk it through and, remind him, hey, you're not alone. Everybody has ups and downs and, emotions flaring and, financially as well. So there's a lot of pressure from different sides, and just being real open and, having good conversation and checking in with him, and reassuring him that all the systems that we have in place to protect him and the customers and ourselves. And he's definitely come around and feels more at ease, but I had no problem letting him take that time off also. I felt it was good, and with everything slowing down, it worked out well too. It gave me a chance to ramp up my advertising and prepare for when he comes back so that we could be full speed ahead again. So it all just kind of worked itself out. But
since we started, thank you for that, Sunshine. Since we started out talking about culture, has any of that culture creeped out to your Facebook marketing at all? Any of how you market your shop? Let's talk about a little marketing right now.
We try to put more fun things out. This is what we're doing. Hey, this is what we're doing. I know Watch Kandie, she does a great job of getting things that they do at the shop on Facebook. I love that. She's definitely a great influence for me. We're not in the same market, so I'm like, what's Kandie doing? I love to watch what she does and support each other. She does a great job.
I think the big thing right now is the more Facebook Live and video that you can do, the better your feed is and the more you're in front of your people that you want to be in front of. So if you can just embrace Facebook Live and be willing to maybe look silly for a little bit, it's big. It's a big thing. And right now I'm focusing on happy stuff. I am not doing any doom and gloom things. I'm real focused on trying to help the community. And I've been doing a lot of social media stuff around the food bank. It's just super critical right now that we're helping the community. And if we can do that and portray that in all of our social media, it really makes an impact.
We had a couple ads that we did through Facebook, and they were targeting essential workers or first responders. And so one has been successful is a local insurance company purchased some gift certificates and we matched them, and they're giving them out to first responders in the area. And they've been we're a real small town, so everybody knows everybody on Facebook, and in the community pages they've posted these ads, and so people can tag a first responder and then they can come and redeem it. And so we've been focusing a lot of advertising in that direction, also because the International Nurses Day was yesterday, so that gave us a platform too to push it again. And so
Anyone else? Let's go back to a question that I think we had from Linda. She says, what do you do with Facebook videos? Pictures? I think I know the answer to that.
What do you do with
Facebook videos? Pictures?
What do I do?
Are you talking about content, or are we talking about like
I
where
believe
we post
Linda's
them?
asking about content. Yes.
Content on Facebook videos.
So videos so I had Sparkle the Elf at Christmas time. It
Love
was
that.
a girl.
That was cute.
So
I love that.
I hid Sparkles, and I did videos of like her in a remote control car going over jumps. I do videos, if there's something interesting in the shop. We'll do videos of like rat's nests. We have a stuffed rat that we put with the rat's nest just to kind of make it funnier. And there's all sorts of things that you can do. The videos, I save those. The Facebook Live, I found that you can save those as well. And then that's another video platform. And then as far as pictures, I had just recently, with the whole mask thing, we had a couple of our technicians had on bandanas, and they took their air guns and they did back-to-back photo like they were gangsters, like it was a gun.
I love that. That's funny.
And so I've just been trying to do funny stuff. It's way more fun to do funny things, you guys, than it is to come up with mechanical stuff. People are like, well, great, that's a rusty brake. I don't really know what that means, but they totally do the funny things, right? And I do mix in, don't get me wrong, I mix in the educational stuff. There's lots of things that are important that we need to relay on the mechanical side too, but mix it up. Don't make it all serious. Be sure that you've got some fun stuff too.
Are you finding that the organic reach, ladies, and I think you had something to say, Janel, I didn't mean to get in your way, but are the organic posts and the fun posts having more impact, more reach, more likes?
I get way more likes on the fun stuff than any of the mechanical stuff.
Yeah.
I have found that organic
a lot
posts
more approachable.
Yeah. Like the
It
ones we
makes the
post
shop
themselves.
less intimidating, and it's less, you're less fearful is not really the word, but concerned when you take your car in. If you've got somebody with a good sense of humor, that person is now approachable. You don't feel bad asking them questions. You don't feel bad explaining the customer situation. And I think it just makes things a lot more approachable and going into the shop. If there's a little bit of it does. It makes you seem like a real person.
Yep. I found we get way more traction on real pictures, real videos than just like information drops. I actually don't do any of that anymore. I canceled that, and I was like, I want to put out stuff that shows us who we are. We're funny. We have fun, and we do educate. We believe in lifelong education here. We're always going to training, and we're always bettering ourselves. Everybody, even my front desk girl, she goes to training. So we want to communicate that. The information drops, I feel like it doesn't help anybody.
It seems to me that anyone who is struggling to do Facebook Live and or videos to put up on their site to show the human side of what everyone is dealing with could have so much fun with the mask and the bank robber thing, and let me show you my face, and this is my first time doing this, and please let me know how I did. I'm not sure I'm going to press the right buttons, but I'll get better at this. That whole that humbling thing that I think people are going to look at and says, wow, this is their first ever Facebook Live. I give them a lot of credit. Who is this place? And maybe that's why I go there. They're real people.
Real authenticity, for sure.
Well, let me see a comment from Jeff. Ashley's dad is so proud of her. Oh, there you go, huh?
I have a
How
great
nice.
dad. He poured me a great foundation. I'm extremely grateful and very lucky that he was here for 45 years, and I'm very grateful.
Jeff, this is an interesting comment. I have to ask you, Ashley, we're going to get really personal here. Does your dad ever say what he would tell Jeff? Does he ever say you're doing a great job?
So, we actually just had our first growing pain this year. If there's any shops that are father-daughter or family-owned, my dad is my best friend, and for the last couple of years, working with him has been great. But we did hit our first turbulence because that was not something that he communicated a lot, and which was fine. You know, I grew up that way. He wasn't a super big, affectionate communicator, but when he said it, he meant it, and that's all that mattered. But we did get into a little bit of, I'm like, hey, like, this is hard. Like, you have to tell me when I'm doing a good job too, not always when you would have done things differently.
Yeah.
And he has taken retirement and he's a whole new person. He tells me how proud he is of me a lot. And that's helpful.
That's so good to hear because you're a DOB, you're a daughter of boss, and I was an SOB, a son of boss. And my dad would tell other people that I was doing a good job, but never tell me.
Yeah.
And, and anyone in that family dynamic is always looking to find out if what you continue to do that you think you're loving, you're enjoying, you think you're moving the business ahead, is there an approval process that's coming from the boss or, the former leader, the legacy person? And when is that day that he's going to say, you've been doing this for a year now, and I think you should stop. And why didn't you tell me in the first month thing, right?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I didn't mean to go in that direction, but it was a great opportunity for me to bring that up.
I've noticed that I'm not the only one. I've met a lot of daughter taking over for father, and it's cool to have a support system because I felt like the only one because he's my dad, right? So he's my dad every day, but he's my boss Monday through Friday. So having those conversations is different. We have to have are you my boss or are you my dad? Let's identify who I'm talking to because it's different. And it was nice to know that I wasn't alone. So.
Well, with you ladies, I feel this incredible dynamic, and I've always loved the brother and sisterhood in the Northwest. It is uncompromising. What are you doing to really drive your community support to be the pillar of your communities?
So community is, when we talk about culture, community is very much a culture in our shop. We are not just involved with helping with donations and drives and stuff, but we encourage our employees to get out and volunteer in the community and full support when they do. There's probably 12 different being a small town. Another thing, you're shaking a lot of hands and people personally. And so you want to support their passion as well as, give them that upper hand to really get out there and do what their heart, is calling them to do. And so each guy in the shop, including myself, kind of have our own, I coached soccer. I still coach soccer. I would normally be coaching soccer if it wasn't for COVID right now. And then another one is, involved. They all have a nonprofit that they're involved with and that they are passionate about. But even the ones that, that we may not be firsthand with, we try to really push and promote. That's what you'll see on our Facebook. You'll see, a nonprofit, not when I first opened, every month we would rotate a nonprofit and support them and give a platform for customers to donate through us. And then we do a grand collection and support that nonprofit. And then as the years have gone on, there's a few that we that we're personally involved with, but we've really kept the connections with all of them. So that's something that, I care about deeply. So, and it's kind of shifted into the shop cares about deeply. So it's really nice.
Wonderful.
That's
So
awesome.
let's go around the room on culture, Janelle, or on community. I'm sorry, Janelle.
So we've been big supporters of the 4-H and FFA programs for years. So we continue to do that even though our kids have aged out. We continue to try and support the kids that are doing livestock projects. We continue to invite kids in to do shop tours or FFA egg met classes when school is in session. We would invite those groups to come in and kind of tour the shop. Interestingly enough, we donated a bunch of our scrap rotors to one of the school metal shop programs to allow them to have those materials to kind of put them on a lathe, see what happens, take a look at what a warped rotor looks like. And so we've tried to just be really supporters of programs especially programs that involve kids. So I am still a 4-H leader, but we just maintain that contact.
Excellent. Good stuff. Kandie?
We sponsor 3 boys Pee Wee baseball teams. So we have a girls softball team, which unfortunately they can't play right now. Yeah. We're actively involved in the West Seattle Chamber of Commerce. We do so much, I can't think of all of it right now. The food bank thing that I talked about, we've been doing since I started here 29 years ago, where we offer a discount. Well, we used to service their vehicles for them until they got a couple new vehicles. And now we offer a discount to our clients every time they bring canned food in. And we just do that all year long. What else do we do? I'm on 4 different advisory boards for schools for technical automotive tech stuff. I'm out in the community all the time. Used to be in Rotary. I had to let Rotary go. It just got to be too much. I couldn't be everywhere. But I still love Rotary. They have a children's shopping spree that I help with every year, where we get the coats and store them, and then they use them for the shopping spree. But yeah, it's super critical to be out in the community and showing support for everybody. I can't tell you guys out there, if you're not involved, you need to get involved.
Boy, how big is and true that is that. Ashley, how about you in community?
I'm pretty new to the community. I've only been at the shop for about 5 years, and we did a lot of things that my dad did. I'm still trying to implement all of those and find things that call to my heart as well. I was on the equestrian team from when I was on my high school, and I know that donations helped us a ton. So we did donate to our high school that I rode at and another high school the last couple of years. We donate our front lot to the Boy Scouts to sell their Christmas trees. Every year we've done that for I don't even remember, so long. Donate the lot, and they sell their Christmas trees from there. Do a lot of food bank stuff. We fed a lot of families last year for Thanksgiving. But we're just looking to get involved. I'm still new. I'm feeling myself out in the community.
Sure.
Trying to feel like what calls to my heart. How can I help? Be of assistance? I know that a couple of our team members have decided to take some personal time and donate to our time to the homeless shelter to help. We were going to do that, but now they don't want our help because we're not supposed to be in contact with people. But just to donate our time, ourselves, our bodies to help, feed the homeless and feed local shelters, just to be there and hand out food.
Well, ladies, you guys are doing some incredible things with the community, and that's exactly what you should be doing, being the centerpiece, the pillar of the community, especially as a essential open business. People need to see that, you're there to provide the transportation needs, but so many others. I know Kandie is going to speak about ASA Northwest in a minute, but the reason we're here and we're doing this is it's for our membership. It's on our Facebook page. And, continued membership, please continue to support ASA Northwest and get your friends. And as you share this video around and out, always looking and encouraging new members. Now, one of the things that I know that is so critical to a great running business, and sometimes when there are problems, is having great fleet business and fleet business that you can rely on. And Janel, I know that you'd love to speak to that. We'd love to hear your advice.
Well, the fleets really have been a great avenue for us to maintain consistency. They kind of prevent some of the ups and downs that a lot of other areas experience. Having the ability to have that business has been just such a blessing for our shop. You're working with one fleet management company, or I think there's about 3 or 4 of them that we deal with primarily. So you're getting your referrals from them. So it's not just your marketing efforts, it's the communication of that driver calls their fleet management company. I'm broken down. Where do I go? They tell them where to go. So here's the closest shop to your location that's contracted with us. Go to unlimited service. So it really has been just a great avenue for us to continue to grow, but more importantly, during this time, stay stable. So I just, we kind of positioned ourselves in the market to be able to do that, and it's really served us well.
I want to talk about the potential risk of fleet business, and that would be holding paper, accounts receivable. Are you guys find that that's not a big issue?
It's really not, because most of the fleet management companies, when you sign your contracts, you actually sign up for just automatic deposits. And usually it takes maybe 2 to 3 days to get from when you close an invoice on their system to when the funds for that are deposited in your account.
Good
So
for you.
it really isn't holding a big accounts receivable like it used to be, where you'd only get that one check or one transmission once a month. Now you're getting your payments within a day or so. Some of them are pretty quick.
Yeah, I think I fax my enterprise invoices and I get a payment within 48 hours.
Yeah.
So.
Beautiful. Well, you guys have solved that issue, and of course, the fleet companies want to work with you. They need you, so of course they're not going to let you hold paper. But some smaller and private companies will. This has been unbelievable. I've so enjoyed this. It was very uplifting, and I have to say this: you guys were extremely transparent, and that's just great when you put something like this on. Kandie, let's talk about ASA Northwest.
Well, ASA Northwest has been working really hard for our members right now. We just really have been trying to keep them in the loop in any way that we can help them, making changes to the website daily. As soon as this COVID thing hit, the board started meeting once a week, sometimes once a day, just to talk about how can we help our members, how can we have an impact, how can we take some of the pressure off of them. So there's been tons of information about the PPP loans. Just yesterday, we had a live event with regards to the PPP loans. There's one again tomorrow. I encourage you to watch it. Very informative. Everybody's excited about the PPP to get this additional money, but then there's a side that makes you nervous too about the bookkeeping and things involved. So it was really valuable yesterday to watch that and get some information. I'm sure tomorrow's will be different because there'll be different questions. Yep. We still are planning on having ATE, our training event. We're not sure what that looks like just yet. Right now, we have it scheduled for July 31st, August 1st and 2nd. That may change, and our members will be the first ones to know. Still on track for ATE East, which was very successful last year, our first one. So we're looking forward to it as well. But mostly, ASA Northwest, we want you to know that we're here for you. And if you're having struggles or you just need to talk to somebody, pick up the phone, call us. Any of us are here to help in any way that we can.
Glad to hear that. Well, I sure do hope ATE can come off. It's one hell of an event. But, you talk about reinventing how we do things, how we're going to have to adapt or die. In fact, it's not a terminal thing, but, if we don't change in sometimes some crazy ways, or in some nice little left or rights in what it is that we're doing, I think life will pass us by. I think we have to actually keep up with whatever's going on out there. So I just wish you guys all the luck to be able to pull off ATE. It's just one of the greatest events. We had Vicki Doherty. She just showed up, but her camera and microphone aren't on, and we are about ready to say adieu to everyone. And I so want to let me see. Jeff said 100 attendees of the PPP program yesterday. Tomorrow's Zoom for everyone is at 2 p.m. and that would be Pacific time, no doubt. And I've done shows on my own on the PPP and how interesting it's been. In fact, I know there's a couple of guys and ladies in the aftermarket that applied to 2 different banks and they got 2 different check deposits in their bank, and now Yeah, I know. It's so interesting.
They weren't supposed to do that.
Yeah, I was
know.
gonna
Well,
say.
yeah, I know. I mean, things happen, but obviously, do the right thing,
Yeah.
not spend it and give it back. And there's also some other discussion going on about an IRS rule that recently came out. And I don't want to cloud the waters, but one evening a few weeks ago, the IRS made a change to what the PPP was intended for, about the taxation of it. And so now I talked to some people just yesterday and said, it would be crazy for the original intent of the law, the PPP program, to be changed by the IRS. No matter how it is, it's a hell of a piece of relief for us. We should be signed up for it, and we should be using it for all the right things, depending on if the IRS wins or they don't. So it's one of these things. Oh, you see, it's the government, and they get involved in no, like you guys say, be happy. it exists. Sometimes you're not going to fight Mother Nature, and do the best you can, and that's how it is. Hey, thanks so much, Ashley, Janelle, Kandie, and Sunshine, for being here. This was a blast, and I really enjoyed. Great input, and thanks to Jeff and Brenda from ASA Northwest for allowing me to spend some time with you guys. This is great.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it was. Thank you.
Great. Continued
Thanks,
success, everyone. Bye now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.